where we will paste the text of the inscription and we will hide that word with question marks. What if history's greatest voices were never truly silenced, merely awaiting the right technology to hear them again? This isn't fiction, it's happening now. Artifacts once considered forever lost to time, charred, entombed, and fractured, are beginning to communicate once more. Unlocking the hidden stories of these millennia-old relics has required cutting-edge 21st-century innovation. The twist? They aren't sharing gentle tales, they're revealing secrets we may not be prepared to confront. And the final ancient language in our exploration reveals the most astonishing truth of all, the forgotten script of the Danube. Beyond the familiar cuneiform and hieroglyphs lies the mysterious Danube script, still relatively unknown. Researchers discovered unusual markings on pottery, rocks, and figurines along the Danube riverbanks across modern Serbia, Bulgaria, and Romania. For decades, scholars debated whether these constituted actual writing or mere ancient decorations. Then artificial intelligence entered the picture. When these symbols were analyzed using advanced pattern recognition systems, researchers discovered something extraordinary: structure, syntax, and repeated sequences characteristic of language. Some inscriptions date back over 7,000 years. If this indeed represents a writing system, and evidence strongly suggests it does, then the Danube script could represent the earliest known form of written communication in human history, predating both hieroglyphs and cuneiform. The Herculaneum scrolls, voices from the volcano. From ancient Europe to the shadow of Mount Vesuvius, another silent archive has awakened. When Vesuvius erupted in 79 CE, it consumed an entire Roman library. The result, hundreds of scrolls carbonized, too delicate to unroll, too destroyed. For nearly 3 centuries, these Herculaneum scrolls remained unreadable. Spring 2023 sparked a digital revolution with the Vesuvius Challenge offering over $1 million to anyone who could use AI to virtually unroll these blackened papyri. Enter Luke Fariter, just 21 years old, who employed machine learning to identify the first word, purple. This breakthrough opened the floodgates. Teaming with Yosef Nader and Julian Skiliger, they decoded over 2,000 Greek characters by February 2024. Akkadian form, decoding Mesopotamia's legacy. From Italy's ashes to ancient Mesopotamia's sun-baked clay, the Akkadians left a sea of wedge-shaped impressions, over 500,000 clay tablets housed in museums worldwide. Most remain unread because Akkadian is extraordinarily difficult to translate, with only a few hundred people globally capable of doing so. In 2023, researchers from Tel Aviv and Ariel University developed an AI model trained on thousands of translated Akkadian texts, essentially creating Google Translate for a 5,000-year-old language. Another initiative, led by researchers at the AI Cuneiform Corpus, processed over 130,000 texts. German teams joined the effort, using 3D modeling and neural networks to recognize over 21,000 signs from nearly 2,000 tablets. The Dead Sea Scrolls, new secrets revealed. The Dead Sea Scrolls, discovered in the 1940s, predate most modern religions and were written by a group called the Essenes. The Great Isaiah Scroll was always believed to be the work of a single scribe until 2021. AI researchers at the University of Groningen analyzed thousands of samples of the Hebrew letter Aleph and discovered subtle, nearly imperceptible variations, revealing not one scribe but 2. This changes our entire understanding. It suggests organized writing teams worked in the desert's isolation, with AI detecting emotional shifts in pen pressure and style. We're learning not just what they wrote, but how they felt while writing. The Indus Valley Enigma. In South Asia lies one of archaeology's great unsolved mysteries, the Indus script, used by the Indus Valley Civilization between 2600 to 1900 BCE. It appears on seals, pottery, and tablets, but lacks a Rosetta Stone or translation key, just rows of peculiar symbols from a culture historians repeatedly describe as remarkably peaceful. Beginning in 2009, Professor Rajesh P. Zen RIO and his team employed a Markov model, a statistical tool mapping sequences, and fed it every known Indus inscription. The patterns revealed were too organized to be random, displaying language-like behavior. Deep learning models later began recognizing recurring structures, with some researchers achieving over 80% accuracy in symbol segmentation. The Meroitic Mystery, Nubia's Silent Script. Following the Nile southward leads to the lesser-known kingdom of Meroe. From approximately 300 BCE to 400 CE, the Meroitic language flourished in modern-day Sudan, utilizing two scripts, hieroglyphic for monuments and cursive for everyday use. Despite knowing about this language for over a century, no one could decode it. No bilingual texts existed, no dictionary. Now researchers at MIT CSL Lab are making progress. Their algorithms, previously successful with Ugaritic and Linear B, are being recalibrated for Meroitic. These models don't require translations, they detect structural logic, identifying grammar-like patterns and statistical relationships between symbols. Proto-Elamite, Iran's ancient code. East of Mesopotamia, in ancient Iran, lies one of the world's oldest writing systems, Proto-Elamite, dating to around 3100 BCE. These wedge-like marks were inscribed on clay tablets during agriculture's early development and the emergence of city-states. For over a century, linguists struggled with these unusual symbols. Oxford researcher Dr. Jacob Dahl pioneered efforts using reflectance transformation imaging, RTI, to capture ultra-detailed images of the tablets, fueling neural networks capable of recognizing subtle grooves and glyphs invisible to the human eye. In 2025, researchers introduced algorithms focused specifically on deciphering the numerical systems crucial for understanding trade and economic records within the tablets. Hieroglyphs reimagined, Egypt's digital renaissance. Egyptian hieroglyphs need no introduction, intricate, majestic, ubiquitous. Yet decoding them remained painfully slow until 2020, when Google Arts and Culture partnered with Macquarie University to launch Fabricius, an AI-powered tool revolutionizing ancient Egyptian writing. Fabricius doesn't merely translate, it teaches. One mode guides users through fundamentals, another allows experimentation with the script. But its work mode is where magic happens, using pattern recognition powered by AutoML to scan and match hieroglyphs with known translations, streamlining what previously took months. Rongorongo, Easter Island Serpentine Mystery. Travel halfway across the globe to Easter Island and discover a language defying conventional logic, Rongorongo, a script found in the 1860s carved into wooden tablets, with a bizarre snake-like reading direction, left to right, then right to left, like a mirror flipping after each line. Only about 24 tablets survive today, with the culture that created them vanishing before the 20th century. Researchers are now using machine vision to isolate individual glyphs, cataloging them across all surviving samples. These models compare Rongorongo with known writing systems, not for direct translation but to identify potential linguistic traits.